Hello everyone, my name is Ivan and welcome back to the AWS Workspace deployment video. This is the continuation after you create your new Databricks account. What we're going to do on this tutorial is we're going to create the initial workspace, this dev workspace on the AWS account. This will be the dev account. And yeah, the dev workspace on and the required cloud resources here. This is what we're going to cover on this tutorial. Okay, so let's follow this. On the video description, you will find this repo. It might be a different URL. This might be get migrated into a separate and more public uh, repo, but it's the same idea. So on AWS here, we're going to use this 01 AWS Workspace Metastore template. And this is going to create a workspace and a Metastore. Also, there's going to be a 02 folder later on for just creating the workspace and the catalog. This is because the Metastore is an operation you only do once. Let's get started. Okay, so here is a README. The first thing that we need to ensure is that we have git install and also terraform install. And lastly, AWS, right? Okay, and we have all those three. If you don't have this, follow these links to install it. Okay, so now we're going to create an AWS profile. Terraform is going to use this profile to create the required AWS configurations. So for that, we're going to go to the console. Once you're on the console, click top right on your user, click on the security credentials. We're going to click here on the access keys. I'm going to create a new pair. Yeah, I'm saying that. Yeah, is this? I'm going to ignore this. This is just for the sake of the tutorial. In here, I'm going to copy these two values that is going to generate the access key and the secret key. Okay, going to store these two values on my notepad. And now I'm going to access the AWS CLI. And I'm going to run the following command. We're going to create a new profile. So for that, we're going to run AWS configure and the name of the profile that we want to create. Going to hit enter. It is going to ask us about the key. Going to paste that from my notes. Then the secret key access. Again, I'm going to paste that from my notes. The default region, I'm going to use East US 1. And the output, I'm going to leave that as empty. And that's it. This is how we create the profile. Now, the second step is to, okay, yeah, this is what we just did. Now we're going to clone the repo, okay? So on the repo name, I'm going to right click, going to click on code, going to copy this HTTPS path, and I'm going to clone this repo in this folder on documents, workspaces. So for that, I'm going to run a cd documents, then the workspaces folder, and here I'm going to do git clone. I'm going to paste the link that I just got from Git. I got the files already, so I'm going to save this profile name because I will need that later. Now let's clear this screen. Let's do a cd to the Terraform folder. Now let's do another cd into the AWS folder, and last cd into the 01 Terraform folder. This is where we want to be on the CLI. Okay. Now, according to the tutorial, we need to open this folder repo with a text editor because we'll be changing this terraform.tfvars file. So let's do that. Let's go to, I'm going to use Sublime Text in this example. And as you can see, I'm already on the workspace. This is the folder I just cloned. I'm going to expand, expand, expand. And this right here, the terraform.tfvars, this is what we're going to modify. So going to do some cleans on the comments. So the first stuff is the AWS profile. This is what we just did on the previous step. Now we need to fill the CIDR block for the networks. We're going to leave this default. This is good. The environment is going to be dev. It's the first workspace, so it makes sense to create the workspace first, then staging, then production, right? The tags, this is some tags for the AWS resources. So by default, there's the environment tag and the vendor tag. So it will be environment dev, uh, vendor Databricks, and I'm adding this extra variable. So awesome company, the engineering team. I don't know. You can add your own stuff here. Lastly, we need to get this Databricks authentic. This right here, these two variables. There's a lot of comments. Let me clear this. 1 second. Remove this. Let me remove this. Oh, it's a lot of text. Account ID. Account. Yeah, this right here. I'm going to clean all this. If you watch the recording, you won't find this on your code. Okay, so we need to get these three values: the account ID, a service principal ID, and a service principal secret. We get this on the Databricks account. This right here. On the account, let's first get the account ID. So top right, click over here and copy the value of the account, right? And let's fill that here. Save. Now, service principal ID and secret. We can do that by creating a new service principal. On the account, we're going to access user management, service principal. In here, let's create a new service principal. The name doesn't matter. I'm going to call this Terraform, the Terraform. Pretty important on the roles, make this service principal an account admin because this will run an account operation, which is create the workspace and create the catalog. And after we make this an account admin, let's go to credentials and secrets. We're going to scroll over here on the auth secrets and let's create a new secret. I'm going to create a secret where the lifetime is just 1 day because it's a video. You're watching this video, you're not going to use my secrets on your deployments. I'm going back to Sublime Text. So the client ID, this one right here, and the secret, this one that starts with DOS, O-S-E. Okay, and that's it. So we already have pretty much what we need. Now, after we fill this file, let's go back to Terraform. Let me clear this. Make sure that you are on the Terraform folder on 01 AWS Metastore. First command is going to be terraform init. This is going to download all the Terraform providers, right? We are on this step in the tutorial. Let's go back to the README. So open the folder, replace the values, and then run the Terraform commands. We are running the init, we're going to run the plan, and then apply. Let's do that. This is about to conclude. Let's just give it a couple seconds. Okay, it has successfully initiated all those providers. Now the second command will be the Terraform plan. I'm going to copy that from here. The Terraform plan is going to check if the authentication is okay. It's going to also return what resources are going to be created. So the VPC and all that. we can see that there's 50 resources to add, 0 to change, 0 to destroy. You can check all this. I have used this template before, so I'm just going to execute the next command, which is the apply command. I'm going to hit apply. It's going to run a plan again, but at the end, it's going to tell us if you want to perform this action, only yes can be accepted. Let's type yes, and let's hit enter. And now Terraform is going to start creating all the AWS assets, and then it's going to create a database workspace using those assets. I'm going to pause the video right here, and I will come back after this uh, finishes. Okay, awesome people, we are so back. As you can see, Terraform just concluded all the work and the apply was complete. And there are two outputs. We can see the workspace ID and also the workspace URL. Actually, if I access this workspace, I shouldn't be able to see it. Why? Because I'm not a user yet. So right now, the service principal is the only user in this workspace. That's right. As you can see, I don't have the permissions to access this workspace. Now let's go back to the Databricks account console. Let's click on workspaces. Let me refresh this website. And boom, there you go. We can see now the dev workspace. And here on the naming convention, this is a random string that the Terraform template is generating. If you want to change this on the Terraform template, you can go to the init file and here, oh man, on the init file that you will find the prefix. So I'm using dep, well, in this case, dep underscore, dash, and then the random string name. So feel free to replace this with your own. Just a highlight, this is being used on the S3 bucket name, and that needs to be unique, right? This is why I'm keeping this random string. Okay, anyways, we can see that here's the workspace, here's the Metastore also. We can see the Metastore name here, okay? And I will modify this to just make it Metastore, and that's it. Metastore and the region. So probably if you deploy this, you will see another name in the future. And let's check the user management. So on the groups, this example created this group right here, which is the Unity admins groups. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add myself here on this Unity admin group that is created. I'm going to click on add. Now I'm going back to the workspace. I'm going to click on the workspace. And in here, you can see the permissions for this workspace. And take a look at this. So the people in the Unity admin groups, they are admins. This is something that Terraform did. It created the group, then added the group as admin in the workspace. Now let's click on open. As you can see now, because I'm part of that group, I'm allowed to see the workspace theme. And yeah, I have access to this workspace. So now I can just go into the compute. I can create the first cluster. Then I can run some demos and create some jobs and pipelines and dashboards. But as you can see, yeah, the next step here is just add more users into the admin group, or we can create a new group called dev workspace users. We can add more people in this group, then add the group to the workspace. We can come here, click on add permissions. We can select the dev workspace users, and we can add them as users, not as admins. Click on save. And that's it, team. That's how easily you can deploy your first database workspace. Thank you, everyone. Have a great time.